Back to the track, the penultimate race of the night, the men's 100 metres, and what a lineup this is. All three Diamond League 100s this season have been won by the South African.
What was going to happen? We'll catch up with that high jump after this men's 200 metres.
We will indeed. You can see that lane 7 is empty. That's because Letsile Tebogo, the Olympic champion at this distance, has pulled out the Botswana, and he was 9th in the 100 metres earlier in 10:43. Clearly not right. Maybe playing it very, very safe. On the outside there, Joseph Van Boele of Liberia, 5th in Tokyo 4 years ago, and then 7th in Paris last year at this distance, the 23-year-old. He's in 9. There's Fred Kerley. Kerley, who ran in the 100 earlier on, and is struggling for his form, but he's gradually coming back, I think. Kerley, who was 3rd in 10:07 in the 100, will be feeling that things are on schedule when you think those World Championships are a long way away. He's got to negotiate the US trials first. Courtney Lindsay, so is he. He's in lane 6, the American. Best of 20.11, but he is a 19.7 performer from Nairobi last year. Wade van Niekerk, the world record holder for 400 metres, his first race of 2025, was talking to his agent last week in the USA, and he said he's playing things very, very steadily because he knows it's a longer season. He ran us 200 metres on a straight track last week in Atlanta in the USA, ran 20.03. Robert Gregory, inside the South African for the USA, the 23-year-old, is a 19.8 performer, that from a couple of years back, 20.2 this season. He won recently in Tokyo in that season's best 2024. Ryan Zeze of France goes in 3, the European Championship silver medalist in the sprint relay from a couple of years back. His parents are from the Ivory Coast, but he's a 19.9 performer, is Zeze. That was in La Chaux de Fonds last year, where it's marginally at altitude in Switzerland. Kyrie King goes in 2 for the USA. 20.6 this year, but he too is a 19.9 performer. A lot of these fellas at the moment in the races they've had a little way off their absolute best. He was 6th in Doha. And on the inside, Benjamin Richardson, world under-20 champion in the sprint relay a couple of years back. He was 7th in Miramar, Florida last week in 20.62. A couple of weeks back, 20.62. Big fella Richardson too on the inside, 6'3". He won't really enjoy that tight inside lane. Van Niekerk, well, how can he go here? He's a super racer, 32 years old. He's had a lot of injury problems. Remember when he set the world record for 400 in Rio back in 2016, 9 years ago now. He injured his knee the following winter with in fact, just a year or so later, playing touch rugby. Did really bad damage. It took him 2 or 3 years to get back, but he does have great 200-meter speed. He is fabulous over 200. One of those few have gone under 10 for 200, 100, under 20 for 200. Well, away they go. Not particularly quick out of the blocks there, Van Niekerk in the raid. Indeed, Gregory inside him has made up a little bit of ground, but he will come strong later on in the race. Good running, mind you, from Gregory in lane 4. Also great running there too in lane 6 from Courtney Lindsay. Lindsay moving away from them. Nobody coming back at him at the moment. Maybe on the outside. Kerley, and also on the outside, Van Boele there gets 2nd place, just ahead of Kerley. I think Van Niekerk came through for 4th place. The winning time 20.04 with a marginal following wind. But that's a really nice win for Courtney Lindsay. Wow. It was a good lane draw, lane 6. He had nobody to chase, was totally focused on his own job. And 20.04 is a season's best for him, and he misses the meeting record by 1/100th of a second. That meeting record, by the way, is going to take some catching. It was by De Grasse back in 2017, 8 years ago now, by Andre De Grasse, the Canadian.
Yeah, he got a pretty good start. Difficult because he's got no lane outside him. Yeah, empty lane for Tebogo. Kerley just labouring around the bend for me. Van Boele comes back at him, but you know, Courtney Lindsay had to scrap down the home straight in Doha last week, and he just missed out on holding off Tebogo. And you can see again here, look at that rocking and rolling. He knew this time, I've got this if I can just hang on till the end, and he does it this time. Van Boele and Kerley were charging a little bit, but they'd really not got themselves involved enough at the top of the home straight. Lindsay had run a good bend, gave himself a good platform into the home straight, and strong enough at the end to hold on for the win. 20.04, as you said, beautiful conditions tonight. A little draft behind them, but not a bad run at all.
The place times in that 200, by the way, they could hardly have been tried to Lindsay won from Van Bulle and Fred Curley, and then Rob Gregory was fourth, 2026. Wade van Niekerk fifth,
What's up, viewers?
2026.
Welcome back to the channel. So right here we have this 200 meter Rabat Diamond League, where, to be honest, there are mostly US athletes in this race. We have the likes as Curley, Lindsley, Gregory, King, we have Leslie Tobago, we have Richardson, Van, and on the screen you can see the rest of the athletes. All of the athletes which competed in this 200 meter. Courtney Lindsay makes the most of the absent Olympic champion Leslie Tobago to take the 200 meter at the Rabat Diamond League on Sunday the 25th of May. So this was very recent. Tobago trailed home last in the 100 meter earlier on the night and chose not to start in his specialist event. We are 2016 gold medalist and 400 meter world record holder Wayne Van Niekerk making his official season debut after running a straight 200 meter last week was one of the stars in the field along with Fred Curley, who had finished third in the 100 meter. Van Niekerk was away slowly, and Lindsay, who was on a close second to Tobago just over a week ago in Doha, went clear of the field thanks to a fine bend as the 26-year-old tied up a slightly enclosed stages. Joseph and Curley ate into his lead on the outside, but Lindsley had enough in hand to win in a season best of 20.04 seconds, just 100. So Lindsley, guys, Courtney Lindsley won the men's 200 meter, and as I said, you all know Leslie Tobago is the Paris 200 meter champion, and he's getting greater and greater at doing 200 meters, but I don't know what happened to him in this 200 meters because, as I said, Courtney literally won, defeating him. So, it was definitely a great race, to be honest. Sorry, no Jamaicans wasn't in this race, but to be honest, we don't really have a great 200 meter runner from Jamaica, to be honest. I can't tell the last Jamaicans won a men 200 meter run. From Usain Bolt days, to be honest, we don't really have a great 200 meter male runner, so it's really sad. But hopefully the World Championships can be different this year. So yeah, man, my people, Van Bulle was second that time of 20.12 seconds, while Curley was third that time of 20.16 seconds, having to settle for another third place finish. Robert Gregory edged out Van Niekerk for fourth with both men clocking 20.26 seconds. Lindsay said afterwards, "I am feeling great for this victory and for achieving my season best. Though my objective was to get a better time, the race was fast, but I was expecting it to be faster. After that day, I will go back home to prepare for my next meeting in Rome," he said, "where my goal is to get the first position and achieve a better time. I would like to thank the crowd for their support. Zero super loud and very supported. Also, the stadium is beautiful and atmosphere is fantastic." So, yeah, man, Courtney Lindsay said to the news reporter, that was what he literally said. So, as I said, great 200 meter runner. This was the Rabat Diamond League. This was like probably a month and a couple weeks ago. Very, very recent. As I said, too bad no Jamaicans wasn't in this race. As I said, we don't really have a great 200 meter male runner right now. We have 200 meters runners, but we don't really see them, pushing any weight. But as I said, great race. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, that we will be fully notified. As I said, the goal is to reach 50k subscribers, and we are officially at 46k. However, thanks for watching.